My name is Dilli Bhatta. I was raised in Nepal. I came to this country more than a decade and a half ago. I am practicing law in New York City, and we have our own law firm. And today I am with Anuz and Dipika podcast at the end of the day.
It is so wonderful to have you. Dilli is one of those attorneys and one of those person of high profile in the Nepalese community in the U.S. who people like us as new immigrants in the U.S. really look up to. I would actually like to request you to, begin telling your story from the point when you first landed in U.S.
You know, like any other young people who come to this country, you have to land on somewhere. So first landing was in LA. From there, connecting flight, I came to Wisconsin, Madison. It was winter, very cold. I was supposed to go to a law school doing a master program in UMaD, University of Madison. It's in Wisconsin, Midwest. Very close to Chicago. If some people don't know this, where it is.
Oh, okay.
But it was very cold, and there were other difficulties I was going through in terms of understanding, adopting weather, this and that. And what I decided to do is, okay, this is not the place. I stayed there for about 4 months.
Okay.
So then moved to warmer place. Some people suggested, and San Francisco. San Francisco is where I learned a lot of things, did a lot of things, from beginner's job to. Even worked for a law firm until I moved to New York around 2006. I was doing a law school there. Before that, I went to City College of San Francisco, and then I got to the Golden Gate University. And then I did year and a half evening classes in Golden Gate University. It's very interesting. I have even done some internship. Kamala Harris, for example.
Okay.
She was San Francisco DA while I was interning under her. It's 2004, I think.
Oh
Okay.
my God. What inspired you to apply for internship with her?
Well, I did other internships also. It's not only one thing. I did 3-4. I had a paid job. I had internship part-time. At the same time, I was going to school and all this. It was like not an amazing time, but I had energy because you have to have experience to go to do well in law school. My goal was still the law school, even though I was in City College.
I was researching about you, and you were doing well for yourself in San Francisco in that legal firm that you just mentioned. But all of a sudden, you thought of quitting everything.
Yeah.
And came to New York City.
Correct.
That was in 2006.
Yes.
And people were telling you that you were crazy.
Oh yeah.
What was that craziness about?
As I said, in San Francisco, I had started from working for a restaurant to front desk to all these odd jobs to I had finally a law firm job, which is very respected law firm in downtown San Francisco. The pay was very well. And I had my apartment. I was helping a couple of friends from back home. I had even helped them to get established there. I had apartment, your bike, your gym members. I was like living like a regular life.
Like living
American
American
dream.
dream.
Yes, I had everything.
Right.
You go to gym, you have bike, you go biking, running in the
Right.
park with friends, and I had few sets of friends. And I was going to law school in the evening, had a job.
In our language, you were settled.
I was, and where everybody was struggling, the people that I knew to get to where I wanted to be at that time. And then later I decided maybe I want to do something, not the Golden Gate University. I wanted to transfer myself from there to here. I applied I didn't apply in any other university in the East Coast. New York is what I was looking for. I applied to only one university here. So I said, okay, I want to do business and intellectual property law. I don't know why I was so fascinated about that then. So I applied and got accepted. I left everything there, including my bike, and which I like. I haven't had a bike since then. Apartment, school, job. Even my boss was not quite convinced. He said, why are you going? You have everything going here, and I'm doing this many things for you guys, so you can stay. But I said, no, I wanted to be in a bigger place. San Francisco was not what it is today. But plus, it wasn't as expensive as it is today. But I still wanted to be in a bigger place, so I found a room in Craigslist. I left everything there, and I moved here.
Which school did you go to in New York?
Yeshiva University. They had a very good. At that time, they had #1 intellectual property, #2 or 3 property program in the United States. So that's the reason I
see.
actually came here.
So then you graduated, and then what?
Yes, I graduated, and then.
Wait, but before you graduated, did you have enough money to go to school in New York?
Oh yeah.
Oh, here's the thing. Okay.
How
it's
did you
interesting.
find a job in New York? What happened?
About 30,000 I had in my pocket.
Yeah.
So I got admission here, did my loan-related things and everything. So everything got already, approved, and that's why I made a move. And I did not work for a whole year and a half here.
Okay.
And that happens, financial crisis, 2008.
Right.
This economic crisis where a lot of lawyers were being laid off, law firms were being closed. It's very bad for the whole country.
Right.
And then a friend of mine who was my roommate also from France, is more experience, and he talked me out of this. Okay, listen, this is probably the right time you want to start something on your own.
Wow.
Also interesting thing, when I was in San Francisco, at some point I was, there were very few people. I met this gentleman who was the immigration court interpreter.
Okay.
So he actually convinced me to do that as a part-time.
Okay.
Oh.
So I got all my immigration knowledge from the interpretation. I did not study immigration whatsoever.
Oh,
Then
interesting.
I self-taught myself after opening a law firm. I said, where am I going to start from? So I had to start from something. So this went on until 2007, I think. So this is where I learned the immigration law. So I started from this because you have to start from somewhere.
Right.
You need the money. As a matter of fact, I started our law firm because I wanted to be big in a bigger city. That's why I'm here. I started from Wall Street, 110, and the rent was, I think, about $1,500 or so in 2009.
9. Okay.
So I didn't have the money, so I borrowed from my brother. So he
Yeah.
gave me first month rent. So, but I returned him
Okay.
With
a certain
interest.
time. Not interest. But so this is a true story. So 'cause I had ran out of money, everything in loan, everything I had
Right.
savings, so nothing, and I had to do something. I could get a job easily, but I thought this is the right time. I had worked enough for different businesses, and also law firms. So I thought I didn't even think I would be this big, or I wanted to be big.
Right.
I just wanted to do something on my own. Wasn't thinking what would happen next year. I wanted to give it a shot, and I had a couple of other friends who were, other lawyers who were helping me out, or we help each other. One guy did the same thing in France after returning from here. So we were in contact, and he is a very big lawyer in Algeria now. So this is how everything started. Since then, never looked back.
So you started your entrepreneurship during the crisis situation, and now you came out of it pretty good. Tell us the first year of starting your entrepreneurship. How difficult was it, and how did you overcome it?
Before even I started my office, I had a few files in my home, about 5 or 6 files. This is what gave me some confidence to go on our own. But they had given me the file, not the money. So you know.
Oh, you mean people interested to get service from you?
Yes, but that came from because some of the people had seen me in the court because I was interpreting. I was working with the judges. They had liked me, so it's all about referral. If you don't know someone, they refer. So they had seen me doing my job, and some of the judges, even in New York, were like, okay, if he comes to my court, that's fine as interpreter. I don't want anybody else. I have had that situation. So obviously they must have liked me.
Yeah.
So I started from that. I've done a lot of business work too, litigations. I've done a lot of type of different work.
Right.
We are now about 8 people, full-time employees we have together.
Great.
Yeah.
And your office is located at?
It's right here near Bryant Park, 5th Avenue and 41st Street.
And it's called Bhatta Law and Associates.
Yes.
One concern of the immigrants who have been practicing law back home and now want to get into the same profession and work as an attorney in the US, one concern would be the language barrier. Yes, you know how to speak in English, but you have to defend, you have to argue.
Yeah.
So, it's all about playing with words.
Yeah.
So not everyone is as confident.
Yeah, I think it's a couple of things. it can be gained through experiences, number one. Number two, you also, it actually helps if you had a base, because I was sent to a boarding school when I was growing up.
Right.
And that helped me a little bit. Plus, as you can see that I have made very bold decisions to learn something that was not even related to me, and big moves from here to there. I haven't seen people struggling with the ability to speak and convey their message to the judge and to the client. But immigration is such a type of law that every judges, every officers, they know they have probably faced more than 300-400 language-speaking people in their lives. So language is not a problem. Even in New York City, any judge, any court, anywhere you go, I think you guys can agree with me that people will understand you.
True. What has your craziness, the craziness taught you, and what message do you want to give out to our audience?
Nobody knows what tomorrow is going to be for us. So you should do whatever feels right today. That's what got me here. I wasn't thinking of today when I made every decision, and I will not be thinking tomorrow when I make decision today. If it feels right today, just go for it. Whether you decide for your client, whether you decide for yourself, whether you decide your family or country, whichever you decide this for. It has to feel today as a reasonable person. If this is right today, if this is good, I think it will turn out to be good. That's what happened with me.
If anybody wants to reach out, how can they reach out to you?
If some people there want to talk to me, it doesn't have to be about law or something. If there is any way I can help, I've helped a lot of people by giving them internship or even recommending to the right people and right resources. If anybody has those kind of issues or even need to speak with me, I would be happy. They can reach out to me. bhattalaw.com is my website, and they can call us. We are right here in Grand Central and Bryant Park near.
Do you want to share your email address?
Yeah,
maybe a professional email address.
This is drb@bhattalaw.com.
And if you are writing an email to Attorney Dilli Bhatta, make sure you write at the end of the day in the subject line so that he knows exactly where the emails are coming from. So,
yeah, thank you so much,
anything
Dilli,
else?
for this wonderful interview, and it was really fascinating listening to your journey, listening to your craziness, as people would say.
Yes, I think so too. Thank you.
On that note, let's end our podcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening our podcast.
yes, and along with that, we would like to thank English Speaking Union, ARNIC. ARNIC stands for Andrew Romy New Immigrant Center, for providing us the space to record this podcast. And if you are a new immigrant in the US and you would like to take English learning classes, or if you would like to take classes on how to adjust better with American culture and how to build professional skills in the US job market, this is the place that you can contact. They provide free classes. So we will catch you next.
And please subscribe our channel at the end of the day.
Yes.
Or contact these guys.
Yes. Bye-bye. Hey guys, a quick note. If you have a personal story that you think might be helpful to the newly arriving immigrants in the US, please contact us. We would love to feature you in our podcast. Go to our website, podcast@theendoftheday.com, and write to us by going to the feedback section.
And by the way, if you love this podcast, you can support us with a small donation. Your help will enable us to continue producing more episodes. The link to support our podcast is in the description below.